It is my great joy to part the veil for you so that you might understand what is the meaning of the ascended Master. What is the meaning of your own spoken word? How much can you claim? How much can you expect to receive from Saint Germain or El Moria or the Archangel Raphael or Mother Mary? How close dare you approach? Here is Archangel Michael, the great deliverer of the people. We approach him in the recitation of his mantra, Lord Michael before, Lord Michael behind, Lord Michael to the right, Lord Michael to the left, Lord Michael above, Lord Michael below, Lord Michael, wherever I go. I am his love protecting here, I am his love protecting here, I am his love protecting here. I have just edited for publication a dictation recently given by Archangel Michael, in which he says he is receiving now disciples who have passed through the initiations of the Lord of the First Ray, El Moria, who are prepared under El Moria and who will now receive his initiations and the call to serve with him and his legions out of their bodies at night. He explains the qualifications for becoming a chela of an archangel who in hierarchy is beyond the level of an ascended master or a lord of the rays. If you feel a special desire and love for Archangel Michael, his devotion to the will of God, his tremendous commitment to this planet, you can in your heart of hearts apply to him to receive you, to cut you free with his sword of blue flame, to bring you a wholeness that includes healing, but is beyond that healing. It is a wholeness that seals you in that divine design, individually and in the planetary scheme of things. Archangel Michael is such a wondrous being of light. I can hardly even begin to tell you, except I must witness that I would not be standing here without his protection of my life, all my life, and for many centuries. He is a very precious friend of heaven. He is the one who said, put off thy shoes from off thy feet, for the place whereon thou standest is holy ground. You have to come to the sense of the holiness of God when you approach an archangel, the holiness in yourself, in your I am presence, in your Christ self, in your heart flame, that your temple is holy unto God, and live in that sense of holiness. And see how quickly life will become a miracle of God's holy will and the presence of many angels. The Master Saint Germain, the Master of freedom, the one to whom we go when we are so frustrated by injustice, when we desire to take a stand in our community, and when we know we need God's help because the powers that have brought about injustice are too great for us to deal with. The Master Saint Germain initiates you in the violet flame that will cleanse every cell of your body and heal all your diseases if you give it. Let me tell you what his promise is. He says, if you will serve the flame of freedom, the ritual of freedom, the violet flame, if you will serve that light with me, I will guarantee you that you can, it is possible for you to make your ascension in this life or in the next embodiment if you have left over responsibilities and karma and dharma to complete. That has to do with Saint Germain's great causal body, his star, which is that tremendous violet flame sphere, a gigantic violet flame sphere that fills the whole earth. It contains the matrix of the Aquarian age, even as he in his embodiment as Francis Bacon contained the mind, the nucleus of that mind of Christ in science for the modern age. Saint Germain then is the open door to the liberation of our souls, to the mastery of the seat of the soul chakra, to the balancing of karma, to transmutation, and to those works we must accomplish in the name of freedom. The most amazing thing about the Ascended Masters is that you are not beset by the choice to select but one master. You realize that they are part and parcel of God's consciousness, and we go to them as we go to the experts when we need expert advice, when we need expert sponsorship. We may have a doctor, an attorney, a professional consultant, an accountant, and so forth. All kinds of experts in the higher octaves, and they are of one mind, but they have various approaches to reach us at the level where we are and to bring us up by cajoling us or humoring us or disciplining us or giving us a very incisive and piercing ray of wisdom to perhaps burst a knot of prejudice or limitation in the mind. They reach us at many levels, which is why we give the various decrees. Saint Germain is a master who is the most loyal friend. He never forgets a favor or a service, and he always returns in kind. He is a master of ritual and diplomacy. I encourage you to have a running relationship with these White Fire Corps masters because they are so available in this hour of the extremity of our planet. Beloved Jesus, the Savior of our souls, saving us to pursue his path of individual Christhood, never fails. The most tender, the most loving, the most powerful. He is set apart and without peer, and yet instructs us that the path of the ascension is for all, and he does not have an exclusivity in divine sonship. Beloved El Moria brings us into alignment with the first ray of the will of God. Without this master and his disciplining of my soul and correction and going after me at every single point of any manifestation of the ego or karma, I could not be here today. I owe my life to these masters, and I want you to know that your life can become transformed by understanding truly how sweet, how present, how sincere, how determined they are to help us if we will only allow ourselves to be helped. El Moria is a very special friend who initiated Mark-Prophet, and Mark-Prophet initiated me and was the instrument then of my receiving the mantle. The mantle of Mark-Prophet was given to me in the hour of his ascension in 1973. But his training for the previous 12 years was a full preparation for that hour. And yet he left me to go through many tests, to descend into hell, to wrestle with darkness, to come again. The masters want us, because it is cosmic law, to work out our fiery destiny. They do not interfere, they do not pamper us, they do not do it for us. They give us the teaching, the tools, the love, the tremendous presence, but we get out on the ice and we have to skate for ourselves. We have to make it. And they let us fall down because we have to fall down. We have to know how to fall down and how to get up again, and how to keep going, and how to feel in the soul and in the chakras that it really all depends on us. And we never become some sort of a favorite son where we can indulge ourselves or think because now we have a master, we're going to live a charmed life. It is not so. The closer we come to the masters, the greater the responsibility we find for our individual destiny. Beloved El Moria then sends us forth. He brings us back to the inner blueprint. It is the first ray of the will of God, and in the Chila and the path, he will teach you what is necessary in the very basics of Chilaship. El Moria prepares us for working with Saint Germain, who in his own right is a cosmic master. El Moria is the very first step on the path. He is so very close.